Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine today.
and Liberia, how are you guys
Um,
doing?
we are doing fine.
Good.
Doing
So,
fine.
so Roosevelt, thank you very much for being here today. You know, uh, see, I like the fact that I bring people like you across Africa to talk to my audience. And this is what I really want to bring so many other people from every other region of Africa to this platform. So see, help me tell my audience who you are and what you do. Let's start this way.
Okay. I am a Liberian and I live in Liberia. And
Yes, your name so that my audience might check you out.
My name is Roosevelt Weah.
Okay.
Roosevelt Weah. And
So
Weah, I think it's a common name in Liberia.
yeah.
Roosevelt Weah is my name.
Yes.
Yeah,
so what do you do, Roosevelt?
I doing attempting to do some few things here in Liberia.
Okay.
I run a school for children who parents are reluctant to send it to school or that don't have the means to send it to school. Because there are two things: to be willing to send child to school, and there are another thing to not have the means to send child to school. So
yes.
These two groups, yes. So that's what I do. And I also evolve with main empowerment network of Liberia, network of Liberia. I evolve with that. And I also evolve with progressive African women. And so these are what I do in Liberia.
Okay.
And other thing, on the religious side, I'm also a minister of the gospel.
Interesting.
On the religious side, so I'm also a pastor on the side of religion.
Okay. All these things are things we'll talk about in a minute. So I saw that you are the founder and executive director of Arise Africa.
Exactly.
Can you briefly tell my audience what Arise Africa is?
Arise Africa for all this education,
okay,
main empowerment, progressive African women, all these components are under Arise Africa.
Okay.
We put all these things together, then we talk about Africa to arise.
Okay.
Africa can arise without the men and without the women.
Yeah.
And our men empowerment, nationally, internationally, sometimes it looks strange. You talk about empower men because they think men have all the power. Men don't have all the power. So if we would empower the men and leave the women out, we will not arise. If we leave the men out and talk about the women, so we have to put everything together. So this Arise Africa is all about. For now, we are concentrating in Liberia, yet though I live in Ghana, I live in Africa Coast, I live in other part of West Africa, but for now, I'm concentrated in Liberia because there I am based now. Though I was based in Abidjan for some time, I'm based in Accra, but for now, I'm based in Monrovia, Liberia.
All right. So you talked about education, okay, and some parents are not able to send their kids. They don't have the means. You say some don't just want to send our kids to school. You see, yes, we want Africa to arise, but it will not happen if the men, the women are not empowered with education. Now,
exactly.
See, for us, in fact, my country, Nigeria, had our university professors on strike. Okay, the workers in the university were on strike for I think up to 8 months. They just called it off recently because of funding. It's a major issue. Okay, so what is the problem of funding? Education. In fact, let's even just focus on primary and secondary school education. Okay, let's leave university education. What is the problem for us to concentrate and fund primary, secondary school education? What do you think?
Exactly. I have argued this over and over, even with my own Ministry of Education, people in Liberia, with some religious leaders who funded what we call private schools or mission schools here in Liberia, other places, and they commercialize it. And my argument is primary education should not be commercialized. It should not be like a business. They should be the responsibility of government.
Okay.
Government should children the responsibility of private or public school. They should fund education in Africa, especially primary education. But why around us we have a lot of schools, but more children are not in school because they are commercial. They make with business, so children are not going to school because the poor cannot afford, and those who can afford, they go to MI and lower the standard. That's the main point I face as in Liberia. When you make with commercial, it lower the standard. It means they make one customer, actually not one student. You're not teaching, you only one customer. And so we need funding for primary education. Government should be involved. Whether faith-based or private, it is government's responsibility to fund. So yes, that's my assertion here in Liberia, other part of Africa.
Yes, I agree with you that primary and secondary school should be the responsibility for government. Okay, but I also don't think that the government should exclude those who want to build private schools, okay, for parents who want it, okay. But see, the point is, the problem is that I think is that because the government are not doing they're not taking their responsibility seriously to build those schools, then private schools is now more prevalent everywhere, okay, and poorer families cannot afford it. See, it's very important because if we can't educate our population, the consequences are dire for us. Economically, security-wise, is a big issue. You know, so we need to our governments need to do all it takes to make sure our young people are educated. You know, I hear that the government should be able to put in 30% of the country's GDP into education, and I agree, because once we get our people educated, then they are the people who create the jobs and pay taxes, okay, for the corporation taxes, and also allow the workers to pay taxes, you know. So
and yes, another point, like we are saying, a two-way.
Mm.
We cannot do away with faith-based school system.
Yeah.
Because they are the impacts, they have moral and religious view within their follow. That is no problem. But what my point is, whatever the case, if government could even come in and maybe case of supply to the schools or such that the salary of the instructor, then government will ask those faith-based institutions to reduce their fee. Without subsidy, of course, we don't expect them to want to reduce their fee because it's expensive to go into building infrastructure and maintaining structure. So if they do subsidy for such, then it is difficult. Now, personally for me, in Liberia, I have an institution that salary, I can say 100% subsidized by friends here in the United States. So I help students. And another point there in the education is, we not just about education. That's my another point I argue in Africa, and not about political education. We are political education in Africa, especially Liberia.
Yeah.
Political education. Politicians, after the numbers, how many numbers of students or children in school this year? 10 million. That's all they after. What kind of education they are getting? Of course, not the concern. And so, not just giving, I call quantity education, how many graduates this year? No. What kind of education are we giving? Is it quality education? There is another point.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the quality of education, I mean, just having schools, graduating students
Exactly.
that do not get the skills that the society needs, it's like wasting money. Okay, so we need to teach those students the right skills and the right values, okay, to help us build our society. You know, so what kind of what do you think we should add or subtract from our curriculum in Africa?
Okay, I say all subjects in Liberia, in our high school, they teach up to 14 subjects. 14. I'm saying all subjects in school, drawing, geography, geometry are all important, but students cannot learn all. So you have to concentrate on what put food on the table. So the children need, especially to talk about trade. We should teach our children trade. That is very important. That after graduation, they're able to do something with their hand on a living. But teaching 14 subjects, sometimes not, to me, not also necessary. But the curriculum demand is so all schools not go by it. So some of the courses we are teaching, some of the subjects are not just necessary.
Well, for me, I think we should teach as broad as our curriculum should be as broad as possible. Now, as the level goes higher, we can now reduce, because not everybody would do learn history or geography or economics. As they grow older, they would now start specializing based on their interest. But if we don't have a curriculum that is broad enough, then we will be denying some people the kind of things they want to learn. You know, so see, I understand what you're saying, maybe because of funding, but see, it will be detrimental in the long run if we'll shrink the kind of subjects we teach at the lower level. It will be detrimental to our society, to our economy. Now, in this era, science, technology, mathematics is very, very important.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's something that unfortunately, many students don't get into those subjects, because
Yes,
unfortunately we tend to think those subjects are difficult. And the truth is that they are not. They're only difficult because those subjects need a broader perspective of life to get into
exactly.
them. And we as parents, we shrink the kind of things we talk about. Okay, so if we allow our children to explore, okay, without asking them, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. See, each time we do that to children, the less they explore.
Yes.
And
Yes.
once they stop exploring, then they will not be interested in science. You know, so see, parents have a big part of education. You see, parents need to encourage our children, and unfortunately, we're not doing good jobs in that area. What do you think?
Exactly. Yes. Some of the reason clear, it could be that some of the parents are not educated in the first place. They are not educated in the first place.
Yeah.
All they know, they can worry the money and go to school.
Mm.
Only few are educated. So when they go to school, whatever the teacher teaches, that's it. And some that are educated, sometimes they don't have much interest in what happens in the school. So they go for PTA meeting, you can see parents. And so it's difficult. So everything got left with the school administration to do what they think is right, because we're not having much feedback from the parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yesterday I attended the parents teacher evening for my 10-year-old daughter, and then I also attended the open evening for my 15-year-old daughter who is going to A levels by next year. So we went to one of the schools. She wants to apply for A levels. You know, so see, parents need to be involved. You know,
exactly.
So one of the things that our Ministry of Education need to think about is how to get more parents involved in the education of their children, in terms of how to encourage children, the ministries should find a way, a strategy to encourage parents to get involved in the education of their children, so that they cannot teach or encourage their own children. Because the schools cannot do all the work. You know, it's a two-way thing. Teachers, parents are all involved in education of their children. You know,
These are the issues. These are the concerns, and we want authority to listen to them and see reaching to actually put education in Africa, not because of politics. You want to get votes. How many children in school, how many classrooms you have built? Some of the classes, in some of the area, there are no teachers. They build a school, but no teachers. They have this compulsory education, primary education, but it has been enforced. They want to see parents carry their children on the farm. And so, what kind of education are we talking about? Because why? No funding. Of course, they have the funding for military, they have the funding for political parties. Funding for parliament, but no funding for education. In Liberia, a single representative salary per month can pay 150 instructors in Liberia.
It's a similar thing in Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay. So
everybody want to be somebody want to be representative. Somebody want to school principals. They want to be representative. You want to be senator because it's useless to be what. Have a master's degree at the university level, and you are making $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, and somebody who can barely read and write, representative, they make $15,000.
Yeah.
When they went for break, getting $30,000. And so we need to put emphasis where even more children are getting, and are more interested in education. So, oh, this man, Messi played $10 million. Somebody will not go to school, the president, will not finish high school, they are president, they are senator.
Yeah. Yeah.
This way, it's sometimes they go to school.
Yeah. See, these are issues that we need to handle in Africa, you know, because we can't encourage our children to go to school if the people they are looking up to didn't go to school.
Exactly.
You know, yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So you say you are also involved in men's health and including productive health issues. Now,
exactly.
Good. So tell me about that.
Okay, let's say something. I know it's in Nigeria, Liberia, Cameroon. For example, in Liberia, if the woman is not conceiving, they say it is a she goes from place to place, prayer to prayer, hospital to hospital, the woman will be going. But we never encourage the man. Nobody will ever think the man has a problem.
Yeah.
And if dealing with men, I know we have so much problem. Men cannot even talk their problem. Different problem with men, sickness, but we can't talk. Man, he expected to be strong, he expected to be healthy, he expected to be brave, he expected not to shed tears. And so we have sicknesses. And the woman will be going around over the place. May have mental problem. The only time you see may have mental problem on the street say you're crazy.
Yeah.
But man cannot express the frustration. You're not supposed to talk. You say that. And so we try to empower men. You are a man, you are human. You can get sick. You can get frustrated.
Yeah.
You can be downhearted. So we share this thing. And I'm sorry. So what's called hernia?
Yeah.
We call hernia. It killed a lot of men. It killed one of my boys who used to work for me. He had this thing. He ate it. He can't talk it.
Wow.
And so we continue to tell me, these are man's sickness. Sickness concerning me. And another point, I noticed people talk about rape, and we talk about other things. Men are impotent. Oh, when man is impotent in our community, he can't talk it. No. You see, impotent, and when he is impotent, it brings domestic violence. As soon another man talk with the wife, he gets frustrated.
Yeah.
He is impotent. But who know that you're impotent? Only he and all the wife knows. He can't share it. So we are made impotent in our community. So many of them young people are impotent.
So how see, I know some of these things are lifestyle issues. Okay. Lifestyle issues. Now, if we don't talk about these things, how can we now solve these problems? So how do you guys how do you handle this?
You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
Very good.
Okay.
See, brother, I know we had a connection problem last time.
Sorry for the
connection. Yes. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Things like this happen. Anyway, we were talking about men's health. That
exactly.
Yes. So I was asking you that many of those things you mentioned are caused by lifestyle issues. Okay. So how are you working through to enlighten men about their lifestyle, how they can improve it, then improving those conditions?
Yes, what we do every time we have what we call Men Empowerment Summit.
Okay.
Men Empowerment Summit. We also invite women, we invite boys and girls. In that, we invite health practitioners, those that are in the health area, to teach men about changing lifestyle. I personally had it changed my life also.
Okay.
The kinds of food we men should eat.
Yeah.
I used to eat meat, I eat fish, and I eat all so much. But through the teaching that health practitioners begin to teach us, some of us begin to change our lifestyle.
Very good.
So we teach men, we invite health workers to teach men about how to care for their health. Now also, when they care for their health, but so we talk about health for men, usually in my community, I don't know about the rest of the other places, when a child is sick,
yeah,
in our mentality, always the woman pass around, oh, my baby is sick. But we teach the man that it is a responsibility.
Yeah.
And when a woman have a health issue, we, the men, should be involved. And they used to call me woman. When my wife is pregnant, I will go, because in Liberia, I will go early in the morning to wait for the car. So I will go ahead of her and wait for the car. So when they say, big better one, big better two, we are going to be Liberia, so the other big better. And before that, they can give what they call health talk. They gave health talk to women. So it helped me a lot. I listened to some of the health talk, and it was very helpful. And how pregnant women should take care of herself.
Yeah.
And so I have some knowledge. And so we teach that to our men.
Yeah.
It's not our tradition for them to do that. The man doesn't have time. If the woman is pregnant, she go to the hospital. But we, the men, should also help the woman. How we have a knowledge of what pregnancy is all about.
Yeah.
What make baby to be sick? When the baby has a fever, how you as a man, how do you handle that? Not leaving it only with the woman. So that's why we teach our men. That's called men empowerment network, and we empower men in such direction.
It's very, very important. Yes, our traditional roles have changed a little bit, okay, and in this era where more information is available, the best thing for both men and women is just to get the information to improve daily life. Okay, a family should work together to make things better for every single individual in the family. Yes, that's very good. So you just mentioned women's empowerment. So what, apart from the how to take care of the kids, which involve both men and women, and the pregnancy issue, how else do you empower women in your how do you empower women?
Okay, we empower women. What we do is, usually for me, our men empowerment, as I said the last time, we don't receive funding, we don't even receive audience, because we are talking about, when you talk about men, because women are being suppressed and this and that and this and that. And I said, no, you cannot empower the woman and leave out the men, or empower the woman and leave out everyone work, especially in our setting.
Yeah.
United Nations try it, they count, they say, the bill clinics, only for what? Women and what? And children.
Yeah.
But is it working? And so
exactly,
we encourage our women to work with the men and to take care of their health. Now, it's both ways. Some women, when they are pregnant and they just lay by, nothing they do, and they want the men to do everything. At the end of the day, you'll see men will run away from women. You say, oh, the men run away. Where the economic hardship, where men find it so difficult, you run away.
Yeah.
So we have to empower the women to understand that when you are pregnant, you have to receive with the man. So we talk, but that's what we will do. That we will call both of them in such meeting to teach, and most of them are very, very appreciated it.
Very good.
So excited they hearing this thing.
Very good. See, this thing about empowering men alone or empowering women alone doesn't work. The data has shown that it hasn't worked. So it's important to empower men and women to work together. You see, this notion of empowering one gender and leaving the other has not worked. So it's important.
Exactly.
It's very, very important that we get it right. Otherwise, we are breaking up society. In essence,
Exactly.
I'm putting them against each other, and
Exactly.
it's a bad recipe of it.
At that point, they also have what we call the social economic situation.
Yeah.
United Nations came to Liberia, or they said the women were oppressed, they were suffering, so that to empower the women and the girls. Guess what they do? They gave women loan to do business. They call women to wash up, and they gave them money, and some of them, they gave them phone, how to use phone. And the man is not, well, we have several instances. Some of the men get angry, take the free boss, if we say, want to talk with boyfriend, or because if you have money, you don't respect me, today no business. And most of the money that you gave out, nothing came from. Oh, they say the people no business, the women are not serious, because the man was not involved. A man in the home, our tradition, he doesn't have the hand, he become powerless. And so you have to empower him. You know the one having money, he doesn't have anything, he start the business. He had the power to start it. He our tradition.
Yeah.
And so we encourage them, say, no, if you are giving the woman money to do business, that's fine.
Yeah.
But we do the workshop, call the man that the woman is doing it for the family.
Yeah.
Let the man understand. Yeah, the man doesn't have phone. He doesn't know how to use mobile phone on mobile money. He doesn't have Facebook. And you give the woman phone. You teach you on Facebook. Usually it can't work here. We are confusion. The man will take the phone. Just bust the phone.
Yeah.
See,
like I said, the world is changing. Okay. So anything that is being brought to our society, we should handle it in a manner that raises our society as a whole, you know. And see, our culture must be, those things needs to be implemented in a manner that helps society within the boundaries of our culture.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
We cannot just abandon a culture, the way we do things. Okay. It's very important. Yes. You also talked about something about government and government, colonialism, and democracy. And you mentioned that it seems that the democracy is sliding back into autocracy, okay, and military regimes. So talk about that. Let me understand exactly what you mean by that.
Okay. Let's see, from the 60s, when Africa began to have independence.
Yes.
The colonial masters actually install into offices those they train. Mind you, whatever was their advocacy for independence, they still had the colonial mentality because they were trained in the colonial system. The Kianta, the Kruma, the Ofue, they were trained in the colonial school. So they were the colonial homemaking. They were only by the extension, the colonial left, but they install, I can say they are their own.
Yeah.
So we have the autocracies, the dictatorship in Africa, we have Mobutu, we have all these guys. And they were not going wrong, the military stepped in. For we cheer because the military in the same way our own. They are our own boys, we can say, in Liberia. And so the military were so rampant, and we said, okay, let us show a democracy.
Okay.
Well, we had the vote. Voting came. Now what happened? Political parties. They made that instead of investing in companies, people with small capital invest in political parties.
Yeah.
You have money, you have 10 million, you form your political party, it's an investment.
Yeah.
So invest in the political party. What you are, it doesn't matter what you have political background. And again, Africa, the military ruling, like in Liberia and other places, military does not have time for religion and tribe because they take over by force. They rule.
Yeah.
And in democracy, you must have a base. In Liberia, call it your base. Your base could be your tribe.
Yeah.
Because you have
tribe, your religion, whatever. Yeah.
Your religion. So you have to preach that religion to your base.
Yeah.
And now, whether you are qualified, you are competent, what they know is their brother is going to take what?
Yeah.
Power.
Yeah.
And now you got all these people. What happened? If we see incompetence, we see corruption. Now the military come here again to redeem. Like we see in Guinea.
Yeah.
So
Guinea, Mali. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. See, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with it. Okay.
Yes.
But I think what happened, my view is this.
Yes.
Our leaders in the 60s didn't do one thing. They didn't build the institutions that that holds up everything. You see, democracy in the West didn't just start in one day. Okay, there was a lot of strife, people fighting for their rights, for freedom, and they gained those things little by little.
Yes.
It took centuries. Exactly. It took centuries.
Yes.
From the 1230s, okay, till the 19th century, okay, to build all the institutions that allows the West today to say they have democracy, vibrant democracy. Now, when we got our own independence, I don't know what happened, but our leaders didn't see the need to build those institutions that will help us hold ourselves accountable. Okay. Exactly. I live in the UK. In the last 1 week, our new, I call it, it's not new, it's like former Prime Minister, Truss, had to resign. The other one, Boris Johnson, just resigned 2 months ago. This Truss came in, and unfortunately, she enacted the wrong policies that rubbish the economy of this country. And now she had to resign. Now, hopefully, in 1 hour today, we'll get a new Prime Minister. Hopefully. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Today, we might have one. Oh, I haven't checked my news. Maybe it has even happened. I don't know. But the point is, my point is this. These things happen without fights because the institution is already laid down and everybody understands how it works. Okay. Yes, there's still tribalism. Okay. Yes, there's still tribalism in this country.
Yes.
It's a normal thing with human beings. But with the right institutions laid down, even with the tribalism, it won't break the country.
Yes.
For us, we don't have stable, sustainable institutions. That's why the tribal, our ethnic group, our religion becomes a big deal in our politics, in our democracy. So for me, for us, if we want, because Africa is very diverse, okay?
Yes.
Everybody wants their own people to be in power.
Yes.
Unfortunate, okay? So if you want to have a stable, stable government in Africa, the first thing is to build the structure,
exactly,
institutions that will allow that to happen. So that's it.
Exactly. They will also come back. We also come back again to education.
Yeah.
Education in Africa, because illiteracy or even small literacy is very hard. And poverty. And so, like, you are in London, I'm not sure how many schools can write the Prime Minister for heaven. Do you do that in London?
What?
A church.
Yes.
I mean, you are in London.
Yes.
Have you seen a church or a university erected the Prime Minister with the head all go to Bay Auditorium?
No.
I don't think they do that in London.
No.
But here in Africa, the president is everything. If your wife is pregnant, you go to the president, help me.
Yeah.
So because of poverty, they appropriate the work of the nation to themselves.
Yeah.
So they become the institution.
Yeah.
They become the institution. That's what you are saying.
Yes.
But you can in London, you cannot go to member of parliament and say, oh, my wife delivered yesterday, I need to go to the hospital. I don't think you do that there.
No. In the institution, the health institutions are there. Okay. The school, the education institution are there. So everything we do, we know the process. And the same process that works for me, the same process works for the Prime Minister and the members of parliament.
Exactly.
So everybody knows or can read the process, and we need all of us follow the same process to get things done. That's it. You know.
Exactly.
So that's what we need to have in our countries in Africa. Okay, so that everybody knows what to do, and nobody will say, "Oh, you discriminate against me because of this." Yeah, of course, the discrimination will still happen, but very, very minimal.
And also, maybe again, the Prime Minister of Britain will not focus on a particular region because there he received a vote.
No, well,
everything go for the country. But here, of course, where you receive a vote, there you carry roles. The people will go to say, oh, Chief, carry road to our town. And also, the institution are there, the infrastructure development is not institutionalized. It is in the head of few politicians who decide where to build a school, where to build a hospital, for favor.
We can't do that here. See, when you build schools, when you build hospitals, depends on where the population is. Okay?
Exactly.
If my state, my town, okay, called Watford, in recent years, we have been building more and more houses, okay, and we are building a new train station, okay, because more and more people are coming to this town. So we are building infrastructure to accommodate the people who are coming, you know. So that's how things work, you know, and that is based on census numbers. Okay.
Yes.
We had a census last year. Okay. We have a census every 10 years. So we use those numbers to know the people in our community, you know, and then we use that to plan for the next, all the things that are going to happen. So that's it, you know.
A census was supposed to be held probably this week in Liberia, but it will put in the hands of partisans and incompetent people.
Okay.
They have been canceled. The money have been made.
Okay, that's a problem.
So the census bureau is here, but it's not independent. It is not an institution that is independent. Like you have a nucleus. There is a point we are saying that what you are saying, institution in Africa should not be politicized. Like census.
Institutions should not be politicized at all. Yeah. Well, one day we get there, but that's the route we need to go, you know. So as long as we don't build the institutions that will help us to manage all these little things, we'll continue to suffer. Yeah, brother, see, you work with people, you work with young people, so please advise young Africans. Okay, you are doing things in your community to help people in your community. Okay, so advise my young people in Liberia and the rest of Africa how they can do things to help their community develop.
Okay, I teach. We call the 3 C's.
Okay.
The 3 C's that will make us to develop ourselves and our community.
Okay.
First, we have to develop character.
Very good.
Character is very important. Today, we are saying there's a lack of character in every aspect of our society. Even the classroom, lack of character.
Yeah.
So we need to develop character. Then we talk about confession. You have to be confessor of what you want or what you want to see done. So confession is important.
Okay.
Then we talk about competence. Strive to be competent in what area you find yourself in.
Oh, very good.
Because if you're not competent, you cannot bring in any output.
Very good. Very good.
Say in the office, you're not producing anything. Now the company is losing because you're not producing. Like example, in a bank teller that is incompetent, but because the product is there and you are recommended, you will take 1 hour to solve 5%.
Yeah.
So you're not producing more. But incompetent, a lady I knew in one of our banks in Liberia, man, she was so competent. She solved up to 50% an hour. And so if you're incompetent, you're not bringing any production.
Yeah.
So competence in Africa is very important. In politics, in business, in education, in medical field, we need to strive for competencies.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let me ask you my last question. Okay. See, I'm looking at Africa in the next 30 years. Africa in the year 2050. Okay. So what are you expecting? What is your vision for Liberia, for Africa in the next 30 years, 2050?
Okay. My expectation is Africa will be the place to be.
Okay.
Africa will be the place to be. Africa will be better. Africa, not going to be better in Africa. We will populate China. We'll populate Russia.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. We'll populate Russia. You know, it's not that we'll conquer them by war, but they have destroyed themselves. They have destroyed themselves. I have 6 girls. I have 4 boys, or I have girls and boys, and beside the children that stay with me. Now I have a lot of population. Why? Someone told me why the US, Russia, they have respect for China, and India was because of population. Africa now we have the population. What we're striving for is to educate the population. Now, what they do in US, do Russia, do homosexuality, and you dare not speak against that, but destroy themselves, that a man that should have children, now he married to a friend man, so 2 of them are losing. they're not bringing population. That African bringing population. Take about 30 years from now. In London, you start looking for workers. You start looking for people to work. You start looking for rock. You start looking for engineers in China. Where would they get them from? Why do you look for engineers in Japan? Where would they get them from? From Africa.
Well, it is true. It is true. Our young population will give us a big leverage in the decades to come. Yes. And China, mainly because of the one-child policies in the last few decades, has their population demography is going to be decimated in the next few decades, okay, because of the one-child policy, and because most parents decided to have boys rather than girls. So right now, the population of China has maybe, as I hear, over 30 million more boys than girls. Okay. So and then in the West, the people who do population stats and other things, they say to maintain the current population, every woman should have 2.1 children, okay, on average, okay? But many countries in the West, Japan, Germany, most of the countries in the West are far below that replacement level. Now, in Africa, we still have, I don't know what our rate is, but we're still above that replacement level. But then, when we become more industrialized and more urbanized, our women will also start going on that route. But right now, we're still within it. We're still within it. So yes, in the last 30 years, next 30 years will be more populous than all those countries. They will have reduced population. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. But then what's my emphasis now is not just having population sick, but population that train, population that is prepared.
Yeah.
That is why I'm endeavoring to prepare my own children and to prepare children around here to prepare for the future.
Yes.
Because if they grow using drugs, become drug addicts, it means they're not prepared. Though we have the population, but we're not prepared to take on nation building, to take on advancement of industries. I mean, so we need to put emphasis again on education.
Yes.
Not just liberal education, but technical education and professional education.
That's true.
So we need more technicians, whether they are welders, they are mechanics, they are carpenters, all these electricians, they are important. And Africa needs this thing now.
Yeah.
And so now everybody has to go to university, they have to build technical schools all around the place to prepare the next generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
I do agree with you. Brother, thank you very much. Even with the difficulty we had at the beginning, I'm happy we finished this discussion. Thank you very much.
I thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.